This is amazing. I love it. I love these people. Love this experience. Love you. I've traveled a lot. I've had a lot of good times, but I think this is the most fun I've ever had.
It's a good thing.
Could get better.
So far.
So far, yes. Yeah. When I was really little, I had a friend that only I could see and hear, but it was more a sensation, labelled an imaginary friend by some adults. And this friend was called Mim. And I was very sure about this friend, and I felt secure with this friend, and would talk to this friend and save.
Who named your friend?
I did. People told me when I was a bit older that was the name. A couple of people told me that was the name that I gave to Mim.
Spell it.
M-I-M. And the year before last, I went to Brazil, and I've been learning Portuguese. And I actually got invited to dance in the carnival, which was incredible. I manifested that, and it was beautiful. And I was sitting listening to this amazing singer one night, this bossa nova singer in a little bar. And I started to realize I could understand a bit of the song. And she kept saying, pra mim, pra mim. And all of a sudden I realized the word mim means me.
That's the reason that we ask you how you spell it, because we heard it as me. Me coming from physical and me coming from non-physical. Yeah. The whole of me is mim.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so?
And so I would like to pre-pave. I'm taking a team as their leader, I guess, so I would like to be a beautiful guide in this leadership role. I'm taking a team to the World Championships of Latin Dance in December. And I would just really like some guidance on staying in alignment with that, leading them well, if it means leading them, if it means...
Well, we'd like to hear from you. So we talked in the last segment about bringing this conversation to a practical level. And so it isn't difficult to think about getting out ahead of it. You use the word pre-pave, and that's really what we mean. It isn't difficult to imagine segments or sequences or pieces that are pleasing to you. But whether you are sitting in a moment in time apart from your exposure to any of them, imagining it, or whether you are in an actual physical environment where you are leading them through your words or action, in either case, you want to tune in before you take the action. The more you tune in and paint the picture the way you want to paint it, with your priorities really squared with you, like the most important thing is that you want them to feel exhilaration of their own alignment, their own harmony. You're not focused so much upon results as you are upon the thrill of the experience for them. So as you find that place, as you pre-pave that by finding that, and just letting law of attraction take hold of you and allow those thoughts to increase for the pleasure of the thought, not for the fixing something in the future, but for the pleasure of the thought. What happens is, as you practice the way that feels, practice meaning get familiar with the way it feels. Practice meaning pre-pave it. It's like carving out the vibrational path so that it is the easiest path for you to get on. That's what getting out ahead of it is. That's really why the word pre-paving is such an accurate word. So as you pre-pave by getting that out there, then when you are standing in the middle of what our friend called the more realness or the more substantialness or the more reality of it, you'll be able to maintain your vibration. Does that make sense to you? Yes. So in practical terms, if you want to describe to us some of those moments in time when you feel it a little more challenging to hold your frequency where you meant to. Let's say even that you were there but couldn't maintain it for some reason. What is the thing that happens that makes it so that you can't maintain it?
Well, recently everybody in the team got sick, and sort of one at a time. So I felt we needed to stay on this training schedule, and I suppose there was a little bit of fear from me that
All right, so don't go too far into that. So they got sick in various ways. And does that indicate some resistance to you?
yes.
And did their sickness cause you to have a step 1 moment or a step 5 moment? Hardly anybody is thrilled with someone being sick.
Yeah. I think there was a couple of step ones, and then I soothed them, and then when it happened again, I knew it was me. I knew that I'd been...
Wait a minute. That really is not the point of everything that we've been telling you all of the time that you've been listening to us. We do say you create your own reality, but we didn't say you made them sick, and we didn't say that the reason they're sick is because of something that you're doing. You're having a step 1 moment. You don't control the whole world. All you do is control your response to it. All you do is control your vibrational tone or momentum within whatever's going on. When we say you create your own reality, what we mean by that is you find a way to establish your vibrational direction, your vibrational frequency, regardless of what's going on around you. And it's an important thing to make that distinction, because you didn't create them being sick. What we want you to be responsible for is your response to them being sick. What we want you to be responsible for is your own knee-jerk reaction. So let's put it in very blunt terms. Are you having a knee-jerk reaction to this real experience that's happening, or is your knee-jerk reaction almost always in response to your dream? That's the question. It's a big question, isn't it? And it feels like a big challenge. But Abraham, they're sick, they need to be well, and we say irrelevant. Really, Abraham? You ever been to one of these competitions? Do you know what it's about? What we know about is energy stream. What we know about is the awesome power of non-resistant thought. And what almost everyone knows about is how some situations give them resistance, and they have no power not to feel resistance under some conditions. And we say, that's what we want you to get past. We want you to get so sure-footed in non-resistant thought that nothing takes you into a resistant place. Can you feel the difference?
Yeah.
Want to talk about the specifics of that just a little bit?
Well, I made them all sign agreements, and
What kind of agreements?
So saying that they would turn up to all the trainings, that they would commit the time, that they would look after their bodies, that they would nurture everyone else in the team and be supportive. I guess in general, be committed.
It's good to establish your intentions, but where do you think, this is a big question, where do you think those rules that you established came from? Were you under the influence of your inner being and source when you established them, or were you under the influence of past experience of sick teams?
Past experience. Some of it.
So we're asking you a big question. Do you really think that you can legislate against someone getting sick?
No. Well,
you signed that. You said you wouldn't get sick. And now you're sick. You've betrayed your contract. Pretty funny, isn't it? You've betrayed your contract. You see, because they can resist your rules and they can resist your practices. So they found a way, not because they didn't want to be there, and not because they don't think you're a good leader, and not because they don't like the team, and not because they don't want what you want. In other words, none of that's the reason. It's just that no one can be guided by a contract like that. And by stepping all over their toes of freedom, they just rebelled. That's what we were saying the other day. If you set rules for your children, they will usually, if the rule is against something they really want to do, they'll get sneaky. They'll find ways to be more deceptive. If you've got a little bit of resistance and you don't allow it to disappear because you're focusing somewhere where there is no resistance, if you're focused in the direction of the resistance, don't worry, it will get bigger. Every single time. That's the way the law of attraction works. So you've got this dream of this team, and you've got this reality of this team, and in your dream there's nobody sick because there's no resistance, and in the reality there's plenty of resistance and somebody sick. So all that you want to accuse yourself of is looking this way rather than this way. So now ask the big question that's in your mind right now. Abraham, are you saying that even when they're sick I can look at them over here? We say, we would if you were standing in your physical shoes. Then your question is, why? Will that make them get well? That's irrelevant, because you're not doing it to create in their reality or to adjust something. You're doing it because this is your dream, not this. This dream has no resistance. This reality does. And so when you establish your rules from the reality that has already existed, it's going to get bigger until pretty soon you're going to have to wear a seatbelt every time you get into any conveyance. There's going to be so many rules that you're going to be bound by unnecessary rules because someone's guarded about something. You see what we're getting at? In other words, it just leads to more bondage and 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 more bondage until somebody says, enough bondage for me. I think I'll be sick and do what I want. They're not making that conscious decision. It's a sort of vibrational inevitability. So when something goes to an extreme like that, it's really a good opportunity for you to acknowledge, well, I see where a lot of that comes from. So now let's, in a practical sense, let's amplify your dream. And you can do it in this environment. You're really having step 5 experience with us here and now, because you can feel no condemnation whatsoever from us, no sense of wrongdoing on your part whatsoever. We're talking about concepts. Everybody in the room is understanding and getting it too. And so it's easy for you. So talk to us, if you will, about this team and this experience from your influence of source perspective. Gather from these resources for us as you visit with us right here, if you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. The girls are just so beautiful. They nurture each other. They support me.
If you don't mind, we're going to do some housekeeping
Please,
as we go.
Please, yeah.
The girls are beautiful. Do they nurture you, or does the stream nurture you and all of them?
The stream, yeah.
Let's just get clear about that, because that sort of slips over into the other thing. You need to do what I need in order to nurture me. Well, no. You don't need anything from any of this. Stop looking for your nurturing in all the wrong places, or your love, or your support, or your whatever it is. Your leadership is you connecting to the stream and leading them to connect to the stream. You're not even connecting to the stream so that you can spoon feed the connection to them. You're demonstrating what connection to the stream is, so that you're all self-nurturing. Self-nurturing, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, when I started to soothe that and just love them through the sickness, that's when everything shifted and got better. I feel it's the right team. I feel, oh gosh, it's just a beautiful co-creation. I feel that it's wonderful and it's time. I feel the momentum of it, the beautiful energy of it. Yeah.
No resistance in those thoughts. And so, did your question sort of dissipate now?
Yes, yeah.
The question dissipated. The problem dissipated.
Yeah.
Good. Enough?
It's fantastic. Well, I get it. Thank you.
Really good. Really good. Really good.